What a lot of people do, unfortunately, is they get started, they build a store, and they expect people just to find them and buy from them. And guess what? That doesn't happen. What's up, everybody? Anton Crilly here from dropshiplifestyle.com. And over the years, I've posted tons of videos right here on YouTube that are designed to help e-commerce store owners to grow better businesses. A lot of the videos that I do post are about marketing, and they typically share specific marketing things you can do to increase your revenue and increase your profits. Ideally, people are using them with my dropship lifestyle system, meaning selling high-ticket products for domestic suppliers, but most of them apply to pretty much any e-commerce store you would build. Now, with that being said, I recently took a step back and I looked at all of our videos and I realized while they're all helpful, a lot of them really are only going to help people that are already up and running, people that are making progress, people that are looking to get to the next level. But I don't have many videos out there that are for the people or the person that is just getting started and wanting to know, big picture overview, how do I actually market my Shopify store? So what I decided to do is put together a 3-part series. By the way, this is video 1. There will be 2 more coming soon. And what we're gonna talk about is marketing your Shopify store at a higher level overview. Now, this video, the one you're watching right now, is all about how to be seen. Because what a lot of people do, unfortunately, is they get started, they build a store, and they expect people just to find them and buy from them. And guess what? That doesn't happen, okay? You need to actively put work in to being seen, to getting people to find your store. So we're gonna start right there in the beginning with this episode, episode 1, how to be seen. Now, just so you know, the future episodes of this series that will be coming out, part 2 is going to be called How to Be Remembered. So once people initially find you, how do you make it so they don't forget about your store and your business? And part 3 is going to be called How to Be Loved. So once people buy from you, how do you get them to actually enjoy the experience so they'll buy again from you and so that they'll tell their family, their friends, and you'll get more sales and build a healthier business over time. Now, when episodes 2 and 3 release, what I'm gonna do is link them up below this video in the comments. So when they're ready, you'll find them there. You can click through and get this whole series on Shopify marketing for completely free. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this episode, which again is called How to Be Seen. So the first step in this process is really to identify the keywords that you actually want to be seen for, right? What products are you selling? Specifically, what are people going to search for if they are going to buy from you? So let's just say, hypothetically, you were selling a stand-up desk because I'm at one right now. And let's say I manufacture them, right? And let's say my brand name was Anton's stand-up desks. So the keyword that you might want to appear for at the product level would be Anton's stand-up desks. And then the next part that you would want to appear for is the actual product name. So let's just say I called this one long white, right? Because it's a long white one. So Anton stand-up desks, long white. And let's say that the SKU number for this specific stand-up desk was 1234, right? We're gonna make this extremely basic. Now, if you're following the Dropship Lifestyle system, which I'm assuming most viewers are, then you're gonna be selling 4 different brands. So here in this example, we have the brand name, then here we have the product name, and then here we have the SKU number. And these are all things, these are all keywords that you would want to appear for because the person searching these things is going to be your likely buyer. So the first thing I want you to do, whether you are following my system at Dropship Lifestyle or selling whatever it is you're selling, actually start at the beginning and put time into thinking about the keywords that you actually want to appear for. What do you want to be seen for when people search on Google, which is where most of your buyers are going to come from. Now, the reason this is so important is because once you know this actual product name, what you want to be seen for, when you create your product page on Shopify, that is what you can name it. So instead of making a product on Shopify and calling it maybe just long white, if that was the product name, you can call that product Anton Stand-Up Desks Long White 1234. You can use this information on your product page so that Google will organically show you more for it, but also, coming soon, that Google Merchant Center will be able to identify what product it is and rank you higher in the free version of Google Shopping, and of course, within Google Shopping ads, should you choose to put some money behind it. Now, it starts there with the product level. When you create the product in Shopify, what are you naming it? But you want to take it a step further too. And when you are creating the URL within Shopify, you want to use these keywords there as well. And yes, you do this at a product page level. So let's just say your URL is yourstore.com. Instead of just having yourstore.com and then something silly like 1234, if that was the SKU number, you want to use the identifying information. So we don't want to do that. Instead, we would have it yourstore.com, and then we would have Anton's stand-up desks, -long, -white, -1234. So that would actually be the URL of the product page on our store. Again, we're giving Google, since that will be the main source of traffic, more identifiable information for what it is we are actually selling. Now, what you also want to do with this information you have, these keywords, is use them more within your product pages. So here we have the URL that people would be on, and I'll do my best, which will still look terrible, to draw out the product page on your store, right? So you have that, you have your menu, you have your cart, and this is what your website looks like when people go to this product page. Now, where you have your images, one thing you'll want to do to be seen is obviously have multiple images, but on these images, you want to use alt image tags, okay? And you could do this directly in Shopify. You don't even need to have any special app or anything like that. But for the alt image tags, what you're gonna wanna do is use the name, again, of the product and whatever the specific photo is of. So maybe the one for the main image is Anton's stand-up desks, long white 1234, white background. Maybe the second image you have is a product shot from the side, right? It's like a different angle. And for that, the alt image tag would be Anton stand-up desk, long white 1234, side view. So whatever it is that describes the actual image, but making sure you're using that product name there. Now, just so everyone's also aware of why alt image tags even exist, they're really there for accessibility. So if somebody cannot actually, see the images, then they would be able to at least hear the words that say what the image is of. So that's the purpose of them, which is why you want them to be accurate and represent what the images are of. But a side effect of this is that Google will also identify what the images are of, and that will in turn help you in Google organic listings. It'll help you in Google image search, and it will also help you in Google Shopping. So make sure you are doing that. Now, with your product page, you're also going to have the product name up here. Now, for the product name, again, what you want to call it is the brand name, product name, SKU number. So that way you have all of this information right up top. That way the product name actually represents what the product is, and that way you're more likely to be seen for that product. Now, another thing you can and should do on Shopify is show who the product is coming from. So even though we typically do include it in the product name, we also have a little section where it has the brand name, and that would show the brand name. So for here, it would be Anton's stand-up desks. Now, another thing that definitely could make sense for you, depending again on what suppliers you sell for and if people are searching for your SKU numbers or not, is actually have the SKU number right up here as well. Again, giving people more ways to find you, and more specifically, giving Google a better way to identify what your product pages are actually about. So then, of course, you have your add to cart button, you have your price, obviously, and you have where people can add the product to their cart. And then you have to think about where else you have opportunity on your product pages. Well, we use our own theme. By the way, our theme is available for all members of Dropship Lifestyle. It's called the Dropship Lifestyle Shopify theme. Not very creative, I know, but the first section is the description of the product. Now, what a lot of people do there is just use the stock description that is provided by the supplier, which can be fine. My advice is to optimize it. You don't have to rewrite it. You don't have to write an essay under there, but you want to make it relevant and you want to improve it where you can. And one way we like to improve it, surprise, surprise, is by including the product name here, And any different variations that might be available, we put them there. Of course, we include the brand name, we include the SKU number, and then we do all the obvious things like include the features and benefits of that product, trying to reference the most search keywords within there. So again, Google picks that up, we're more likely to appear. Now, something else we do, and I would encourage everybody watching this to do, is to add a Q&A section on their product page. Now, there are apps for making these, and I would recommend you use one. I'll post a link in the description to the one that we use. But what's cool about the Q&A section is it allows people that are viewing your page to ask questions. And when you answer them, those answers could be published to your product page. Now, in the beginning, if you don't have traffic, no one's going to be asking questions, but you can ask and answer your own. So in the Q&A block on your product page, try to think of what some of the most frequently asked questions may be, and then ask those questions yourself on the product page, but do it in a way that includes the keywords you want to appear for, the product name, the brand name, the SKU number. Include those in your Q&As and then answer them in a helpful way. Again, giving Google more identifiable information of what your product page is actually about. What should it be seen for? Now, once you do this for all of your product pages, all is well and good, right? That's awesome, you're making progress, but that's still typically not enough for you to just start being seen tomorrow and getting a bunch of traffic. You need to find a way to get Google to start sending people to your website. And the way I recommend you do that is by signing up for a free account with Google Merchant Center. Now, Google Merchant Center is basically a way to connect your store and your product feed to Google. Because this is a beginner video, I'm not going to get into the specifics of how it works and what apps we use to connect it all, but just know you can connect your Shopify store or whatever store you're using to Google Merchant Center, and what you're going to be doing is linking your product feed. And the reason this is important is because whatever information you put on your product pages, when you link your store and your product feed to Google Merchant Center, that is where the information is going to come from. You're not going to be manually typing it in. It's going to take what it can see from your store on the product pages, and it's going to put that inside of your Google Merchant Center account. Now, once you do this, nothing's going to magically happen. You're not going to start getting traffic from day one, but if you set up your settings in Google Merchant Center and opt in for product listings, I'm just going to put this here for free product listings, then what's going to happen is once your feed is approved, is you will start appearing on google.com for different search terms. So let me actually switch screens right now and show you what this looks like. Okay, so I'm on google.com right now, and I don't know what you're selling, but let's just say you were selling, maple dining tables, right? So I'll go maple dining table, press enter, and what I'm gonna see up here are ads. So these are all paid. We'll get to that in a second. But if I click right over here where it says shopping, it's going to take me to a section where all of the top maple dining tables are ads. So people are paying to be here. But when I scroll down and I see all these are all organic product listings. Everybody that's here is here for free. And the reason they're here is because they have their product feed linked to Google Merchant Center, and they have their product pages optimized in the way I was just taking you through. So this is where you want to be. And again, these are free product listings. If you set up your store correctly and you set up your Google Merchant Center account correctly, you can start appearing here within a few days, and you can be seen for your best products, for all your products, for free. So this is the easiest way to be seen when you are first starting out. Now let's jump back to our digital whiteboard here and continue moving forward. Because while it is great to be seen for free, I do want you to also put money into a Google Ads account and actually promote your Google product listings. So the next step is to, if you don't have it already, create a Google Ads account, and then you're gonna link that to your Google Merchant Center. And when you do this, you can create what is known as a shopping campaign. And within your shopping campaign, you can promote your product feed. And what's going to happen here is as your ads start to get shown, you start to get impressions, meaning that people are actually viewing them, you're going to see data inside of Google Ads showing you how many people are seeing them, how many people are clicking them, and most importantly, how many people are buying from them. And what you're gonna do very early on is use this data to determine where you should spend less money, meaning what products should you spend less on, and what products should you spend more on to get more results. You're gonna make your budget decisions based off what is working. And if you do this, assuming you don't sell something that's blacklisted from Google, which is a small portion of products, but they definitely exist. But assuming you don't sell anything like that, and assuming your site is legit, you're building it with a real business model, like we teach at dropshiplifestyle.com, then you will have no problems getting this all set up. You'll get free traffic from Google product listings. You'll get paid traffic from Google Shopping ads. And between those two things, you will be able to have your products on your store be seen without sitting there with your fingers crossed, hoping one day something works out. So this, again, from a high level overview, is something I would encourage every Shopify store owner to do for their marketing. Step one, how to be seen, do this. And what we're gonna do in part 2 of this series, which is coming soon, is go through how to be remembered, how to get people to come back and buy. So let me know, guys, if you got value from this video. If you're excited for part 2, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know by giving this video a like, clicking the share button, and sharing it with any people or communities of dropshippers that would benefit from this information. So go ahead and do that. I will be down live in the comments when this video gets published to answer any questions. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button so you do not miss parts 2 and 3. And with that being said, I will talk to you in part 2 of the Shopify marketing series. See you, everybody.